For right now, I think, Ryan, if I sat down here any day of the week, I could find headlines that say the market is going to crash. I could also find people that say the market's going to boom. It doesn't make any difference what day of the week. You can always find those opinions. The fact of the matter is nobody really knows. So as I look through financial headlines, there's some names that keep popping up all the time. One guy's name is Ray Dalio. You'll see him on the financial networks. You see him out there all the time. He's the CEO of Bridgewater, and they manage a lot of money, about $90 billion. And so he comes up like a guy in the lotus position, sitting on an Asian rug here, and he quotes an ancient Chinese proverb in his latest article, and it says, "A smart rabbit has 3 holes." And I'm thinking, okay. And then I thought about it for a second. I go, okay, translation, when trouble strikes, you've got to have options. Okay, that makes sense financially. So I want you to make us a smart rabbit here today, Ryan. What are the 3 holes of exit strategy? I know that everybody says, yeah, I want to ride the market up. I want that. But boy, if that market turns, you got to protect me. What does the conversation look like in nuts and bolts? How do you do that?
So, I mean, I don't have, honestly, I don't have a lot of clients that call when the stock market is kind of going crazy in the wrong direction.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of clients that are truly worried about the stock market because, we take a different approach than what I see come across from many other advisors. And I would certainly say that, that having 3 holes, so having an exit plan, your main plan for retirement, have a backup plan, and then have a backup plan to the backup plan. But really for us, the big thing when it comes to retirement and having money in the market is you take as much risk as you need to take to accomplish your goals. If you need to swing for the fences and hit 20% returns to make retirement work, well, that's kind of your strategy. But if you can make retirement work, earning 2, 3, 4, 5% conservatively, why take on any of that undue risk? So really the way that we approach retirement that really does make us different, I think that most other advisors or most other financial plans that come across my desk is that most other financial plans really rely on some of the older kind of thoughts or theories or nomenclatures about retirement. If you have your money in the stock market does 8 to 10% over time. As long as I take out 4% or less of my money, statistically speaking, I'll never run out of money. And recent times has certainly proved that that's not the case. The stock market from January 1 of 2000 to December 31st of 2014, S&P 500 literally returned 0. Started and ended that same exact place. Yes, the stock market went up, came back down, went up, came back down. But if you were a buy and hold investor, like most people believe themselves to be, you would have made no money in the stock market. And if you were taking money out over that same time frame, you're taking out 5% of your money and you retire January 1 with $1 million. You say, I need 50 grand a year. So 5% of that number of my $1 million is my 50 grand a year. Well, January 2000 was a bad year. 2001 was a bad year. 2002 was okay. 2003 was pretty awful. 4 years into retirement, starting of 2004, your $1 million is now $565,000. That's not the way to approach retirement, by having your money out there.
Ryan, I hate to even bring this up because I know that, we're working our way into October, but the cold weather and the snow is coming. It's coming. And, years ago, we used to buy snow tires, and then we would they had studded snow tires that would help you a little extra. And if it got really, really bad, you could put chains on your tires in the wintertime, because you could go to these different levels to try to get you through the snow, and it's kind of the same. I see it with a portfolio, is to say, okay, do we want snow tires? Do we want studded snow tires? Do we want chains on our tires? How far do you want to make sure that you go into this area of protection? And when the snow hits, or when the volatility hits, when the market hits and it does its thing, you're ready for it before it happens. I think that's kind of key here, and that's why we come to see somebody like you.
Yeah, and that's, everybody who comes in, all of our clients that we're currently working with, anyone who comes to us from our workshops or our radio show or any one of our various webinars, we sit down and we talk about here's what a financial plan would really look like for you. And one of the big things that, I think kind of relates to what you're saying is, do you want to have just all season tires that are good for the summertime, for the spring, for the snow, the rain. If you're Mercedes, for some stupid reason, they only make summer tires for your cars. But what do you want your retirement to look like? Do you want to have that all season kind of do it all aspect? Do you want to have a plan for when it snows by having winter tires or snow rated tires? Or do you want to have a plan that really protects against everything when winter is coming? I never watched Game of Thrones, but that's kind of part of the saying. Winter is
That's right. Yep. That's
now,
what they say.
you want to have the snow chains that say, if the worst happens, I have a plan in place. And that is what we do when you come and sit down. We're going to show you, okay, here's exactly how much you said you wanted to have in retirement to spend. I want to have $5,000. I want to have $8,000. I want to have $10,000 a month in retirement. That is our starting point. We want to know exactly how much it is you are spending in retirement. We want to know what sources of income you have. Are you lucky enough to have a pension? How much you're going to get in Social Security? Do you have rental properties or other income producing areas, or are you going to work part-time? But we figure out how much your portfolio needs to produce for you. And then what we're going to show you is here are the 3 separate ways you can create that income plan. We can go, that all season tire route. We can be reliant upon the stock market. We can say, let's put our money into a dividend producing portfolio where we're buying large companies like UPS or Amazon or Exxon or Comcast, companies that pay consistent dividends. The benefit to that is your money's going to be 100% liquid. You can change your plan as the environment moves around you, as the seasons change, as the weather changes. You can change your plan. You can go a little bit step further and say, okay, I want to have that flexibility, but I want to have a little bit more reliance, a little bit more protection should the stock market turn on me, should the weather change on me, should winter come. And then I want to allocate my money into some type of preferred stock or bond portfolio where it is paying a set dividend rate that says every single month, every single quarter, every single week, every year, I'm having these dividends coming in, and I'm not reliant upon the stock market going up 10 or 15%. I don't have to worry about the stock market dropping 10 or 15%. And then there are some people that choose, using the snow chains for their retirement. They want to use something that says, no matter what happens in the stock market, I want to have my income as close to guaranteed as possible. And that is using an annuity. And what that says is no matter what happens in the market, my annuity is going to provide me X benefit per year, every single year for the rest of my life. And it really just is a matter of what really makes sense for you. How much safe and security do you want? Because any one of those scenarios can certainly accomplish your goals. It's a matter of how much risk are you willing to take on your money. You only want to use as much of your money in any one of those strategies to produce the income. And what we find is that most of our clients either are choosing those winter tires where we're using some type of dividend-based portfolio, or they're choosing that snow chain route where we're using an annuity or something that provides a guarantee for income in retirement. Because when you know that no matter what happens in the stock market, I have the income coming in I need. I have that $5,000 a month, $8,000, $10,000 a month, whatever the number is for you. I have that money coming in no matter what happens in the stock market. So if the stock market's going up 20%, that's great. Whatever money I haven't set aside for income for that protectionary measure, I can participate in that upside of the market. I can feel good about when the stock market's going up. I can participate in, the Oracle run up in the stock market, the Nvidia, or whatever the new hot stock happens to be. But conversely, the stock market drops 20%. I may not like it because the money that I don't have set aside for income can be subject to that downside of the market. But if I've taken the steps to make sure that I'm prepared, just like right before winter starts, I remember when I first started driving, my dad said, you have to have kitty litter in the car. You want to have a blanket. You want to have all that stuff in your trunk so you're ready should something happen. You want to make sure that you have a plan in place of saying, okay, if the stock market turns against me in retirement, here's exactly what I'm going to do. My income is going to happen no matter what, because I've taken those steps to prepare myself. And then whatever I have at risk out there in the stock market, I'm not that concerned about it because I know stock market's down 20%. I have the income I need. Stock market is up 20%. I have the income I need. No matter what happens in retirement, you want to have a plan to make sure your income is as safe and secure as possible.
Yeah, we always say if you save $500,000 or more for retirement, this is where you're going to really see the power of planning really start to unfold right there in front of your eyes. Tax planning, Social Security planning, income planning, all that we talk about here on the show. And it doesn't take much. I mean, over the years, as you've saved in that 401k, and maybe there's a couple of them that you've got there, that it all adds up to more than $500,000. Give us a call. Give us a look on the website. Once again, 866-597-1040. 866-597-1040 or the website, thesavvyinvestorradio.com. That's two V's in savvy, thesavvyinvestorradio.com.